Hello and welcome to our review of the PlayStation Portal, the brand new sort of handheld from PlayStation. I am joined by Mr. PlayStation himself, Bayne. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Jordan. Thanks for having me back.
Of course. We've both been spending some brief time with the PlayStation Portal. Full disclosure, we got this a few days ago. It was provided by Sony, but it's a bit of a different review, this one, because, well, let's just get into it. Inherent to the PlayStation Portal is that it's a remote play device. So you might remember from PlayStation 4, remote play is a way in which you can stream your games to your phone via your home Wi-Fi network. So unlike something like xCloud, where you're streaming it more like Netflix directly from their servers, you're basically contacting your PS5 in this case via your Wi-Fi to stream it now to the PlayStation Portal. Right off the bat, Aaron, how has your time been with the PlayStation Portal so far?
Genuinely, I have actually enjoyed my time with it way more than I thought I would. The
Me too.
moment this thing was announced, well, when it was announced, I actually didn't realize it was remote play only, and I was
Me
like,
too.
"Oh, mate, that looks amazing!" Right? And it wasn't until afterwards, like I tweeted out about it and everything, like, "Oh yeah, mate, I'm so excited!" And somebody's like, "Remote play only," completely passed me by, and I was like, put a complete dampener on it. So coming into this, I was a bit like, "What's it gonna be like?" We'll see. I'm not really too sure, but I've genuinely been like impressed with it to the point it's easily one of the most comfortable handheld on the market right now, easily. And it's probably the first one to me that I feel like I'll actually use this. Like beyond job obligations, I will use this in my own time. And that's not at all what I expected from this.
No, me either. It was a bit of a running joke on the VGC podcast since it's been announced, because it is a machine that has some very niche use cases. Inherently, when you look at this thing, and when my dad saw it, he thought the same. He thought this was PlayStation's answer to Switch. He thought this was you were taking your games with you. And after playing with it for the past couple of days, I wish it was PlayStation's answer to Switch, because ergonomically it feels fantastic. As you'll see from the one behind me, or you can Google it, it's like a split DualSense. It feels exactly like a split DualSense. To the point where I wonder if it is just using repurposed shells for the DualSense. I was trying to like line them up next to each other to see if that was the case, because it would have been nice. This is an aside. If those, I always thought if those side panels in the DualSense, much like the console itself, could be color replaceable, that'd be cool. But yes, it's like a white split DualSense with a 1080p 60 frames a second 7-inch screen in the middle of it. It's an LCD screen. It's not an OLED, but I think it looks pretty nice. I've had no problems with it so far. What are you thinking about the screen, and what do you have to compare it with? Are you a Switch man? Are you a Steam Deck man?
I've got the Steam Deck. I've got the Switch OLED, and like OLED is something that's like, I mean, OLED is on another level.
Yeah.
What I would say is that this LCD screen, it's a good size. It looks quite nice, actually. The colors and stuff are really good on it. And I was speaking to someone about this morning about, it's a bit of a shame that it's not OLED, someone else that's playing it right now. And they were saying, with the whole nature of things, like with it being remote play, OLED might not have been the best thing for it, considering it's kind of streaming, it's not playing the games natively. I don't know how much of an impact that would have had on it, but I do think from what you're playing, like with the LCD screen, having it on like the 1080p and stuff, I think it looks nice. It looks nicer than the screen on the original Switch. It looks nicer than the screen on the Steam Deck, I think.
I agree.
So yeah, I mean, I don't have any problem with it. And I think once you start getting into OLED territory, you're bumping up the price that a lot of people already think's too high. So I think it's a good middle ground, to be honest. I've had no issues with that screen.
Me too. I've been trying to experiment with it to see how it handles HDR, because obviously if it's using the native settings from your PlayStation, if your PlayStation is calibrated to, so I have an LG OLED, it's like my main TV. If all my settings are calibrated to that, does that make the Portal weird? The only game I've had some strange kind of artifacting with is EAFC. So some of the players have been ghosting a little bit behind themselves. But that game runs. That game obviously runs at 60. There's I've been trying it right in front of my TV to see exact kind of reaction, and while we'll get into sometimes when the video latency isn't great, the control latency has always been perfect because it does serve as a controller, so you could theoretically play on your TV. This would be pointless because
it's like a Wii U pad.
Yeah, it's like a completely pointless use case, but I was able to play FIFA on that screen just with the portal. Beyond that, I think the main questions will be, so when is someone going to use this? So for me, in the example that the people that have told me they want one of these have said to me is, you have one big telly, you and your partner share this big telly, your partner wants to watch something, watch her Korean dance program, and you want to play the end of Spider-Man 2 or whatever, that is when you're going to use it. You sit on the couch, you're not out of the house or anything like that, you're literally right next to your PlayStation, which proximity to the PlayStation doesn't matter as much as proximity to the Wi-Fi itself, which is an issue that I have found in this horrible old house. But yeah, that's kind of when you're going to use it. We were kind of speaking about it on text, and I was thinking I'm not someone that's going to probably play through an entire game on it, but my live service nonsense, like my random menu crap on FIFA that I don't need to be sitting in front of this OLED telly to be doing, I want to, while we're watching the telly, to get through that kind of stuff. What are the kind of uses that you can foresee yourself having for it?
The main one for me, I think, is, well, I like to play like a handheld device in bed before I go to sleep. But the problem is, I've always had is, like, whether it's on the Steam Deck or it's on the Switch, it's kind of like a separate gaming entity for me. I feel like I don't have the time to like play all the PlayStation games I want to play and then also be playing Nintendo games and in my PC collection, you know? So like, I really like the idea of like a little casual session, like just before I go to bed. Like Diablo 4 is one of the games I've been playing in this. It's perfect for this. It's not a game that really is relying on twitchy, like high response times or anything. You know, it runs perfectly well. That's the kind of situation I think would be for me. The whole television thing, I get it. And I even saw a tweet that Sony or PlayStation put out earlier today. Like, that's what they're going for. Like, you don't have a TV, use this thing.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be the case actually for a lot of people, because what I was surprised with, actually, the reaction for us over in Push Square was very much a lot more positive than I thought it was going to be. Because in my head, like, my kind of reaction to it, as I was saying, a bit more negative, a bit like, who's this really for? What's the point in this? And the people are genuinely really excited. It's the people that really like struggle to get private time to play their games.
Yeah,
you know. And I think even like I went over and I showed my brother. My brother was like, "This is like," he really liked it, and he's not like a huge gamer. And my dad even was like, "That kind of looks cool," you know. And he's not really into that kind of stuff as well. But I think there is like a large portion of gamers out there that will actually just have that primary like use case for it, where it is, I don't have the TV that now. I'm gonna use the portal. For me, it's like a little casual thing before bed where I can like relax, but I'm also just playing the games I want to be playing anyway. The games that most of the time I end up just staying up to play them on the telly anyway, because I'm like, I don't really want to sit and play Mario when I've got, you know, a season pass to work through in Diablo. So I think that's going to be. I don't think I'm going to be like a take it out and about guy. You know,
yeah, because I think that the threshold. So according to Sony, their literature is you have to have Wi-Fi with at least 5 megabits for use. For a better experience, you're looking for 15. Where you're gonna, I mean, 15. Some houses don't even have that. So
yeah,
where are you gonna find that? I'm away to a hotel tomorrow, and I'm humming and hawing about sticking it in my bag just to see. But maybe that's depending where you are. Obviously, like America, like you can get like good hotel internet and stuff like that. But it does seem more. I've been sat at this desk all day. I've been sat. I want to lie down and play something. I don't want to be like in gamer mode essentially. So yeah, that's the.
I actually went over to my mum's house to try out like just playing it somewhere else, and it worked fine. Well, to start, it was a little funny. Yeah. It didn't really connect like as instantly as I wanted it to. There was a couple of times actually where I connected, but the control wasn't like doing anything. So I had to like shut down the thing, start again, and then it connected. What I discovered though was when I just for some reason decided to put a download on when I was over there. I was like, I'll start the downloads on this, and it tanked.
Yeah,
the
exact same thing just happened to be there. Yeah,
tanked the resolution, and then kicked me out.
Mhm.
And then that was me, like stuck out because the game was downloading here, so I had to come back home to then stop the download and reconnect. So that is an issue there. I think as well, I could guarantee you a lot of people will accidentally fully turn off their PlayStation 5, and if you do that, you're not connecting to it either. Like if you're like, I'm gonna go on like I'm away for a little trip, like say you're in your trip, you go away down, you accidentally turn it off, and it's like, well, now you're gonna have to like call someone back at the house to physically turn on your PlayStation.
It's also the dodgy thing of like, if you connect to it via remote play, turn it on, and then your connection drops and you can't get it back, your lecky bill is just flying up while your PlayStation sat there on. But yeah, those are teething problems. Well, I say teething problems, but the PlayStation 4 kind of remote play experience had the same issue, like when you would play on the Vita, God rest it. So it's £200. How do you feel about that price point? Because I'm conflicted in the sense that £200 is, it's obviously a lot of money, and it's nearly half the price of the console. It's the same price as it's like £10 less than the DualSense Edge, but also the screen is really nice. It feels really good, and if you find yourself in those situations where you're like, oh well, at 9 o'clock every night my telly gets taken over, or my kids use my telly all the time, my PlayStation's just sitting there, but I never get that opportunity, so I sit on my phone, I sit and doom scroll instead of like doing something.
Yeah,
I don't think it's actually that bad, even if it's only for a niche kind of audience.
I think if this was 150, it'd be like solid deal.
People would pick it up without even really needing it if it was 150.
I think the problem with putting it at 200, and I kind of agree, I don't think it's necessarily like a terrible deal, considering like, let's say you're baking in the DualSense on its own, which is 60 quid, then you're talking about an 8-inch LCD 1080p 60 frames per second screen, which again is going to be a little bump. I suppose the thing with it being 200 is you start kind of thinking to yourself, well, a Switch OLED's only 300 and something. You can get a Steam Deck for 300 and something as well. You could just get a regular the Switch Lite or something. That's kind of roughly the same price. So that I think it kind of pushes it into another bracket price wise, where you start to consider it in other ways. But it's a hard one to say, to be honest. I think, I think if you had like an iPad and you had DualSense and you're like, I can still do this. Yeah. The same thing with these two devices. Maybe not, but if like you, like I don't have an iPad.
No, that.
So something like that, it's kind of like the 2-for-1. As in, one of the big issues, I suppose, though, with the whole pricing wise is like, has Sony done anything to negate the whole stick drift thing? Because assuming that happens, then what's the fix policy on this? What's the, like, is that £200 down the drain? And like, stick drift can happen.
You've got to imagine that this was, if it's the same bits and pieces as a standard DualSense, that's got to be accounted for. You'd think.
I will say the thumbsticks feel slightly different.
I agree. I thought I was going crazy, but I totally agree. So
they're a little bit smaller. And they feel lighter, because like I've got the regular controller right here, and it definitely feels a bit lighter and a bit thinner. But I don't think, for example, I had where is it? Here it's here.
I think you may be about to make the comparison that I'm going to make. Oh, right, okay, that's definitely not the one I was going to make.
So I've got like the what's this called again? The Nikon Revolution 5 Pro is one of the things and it uses the magnetic Hall effect for its thumbsticks rather than the whatever mechanism it is that you get there, which goes against, it basically stops something from getting stick drift. It feels a little bit more similar to that. I don't think it is. I don't think they would change the tech, and I don't think they would change it without saying, by the way, we've developed this in a different way, so you don't need to worry about this specific thing because they know it's an issue on the DualSense. You know,
I think is it the sticks that are in the PSVR 2 controllers, maybe?
you know that's you know what? Actually, I think you might be right.
Have you got one handy? Mine's just
Yeah, I
packed
got
away
one
at the
right
minute.
here. I got one right here.
Give it the old field test. I think those might be a bit more regressed into the actual thing, but is it?
It's very similar.
Yeah,
very similar
we've
to
got
the PSVR 2 one.
We've got a live field test going here. Yeah,
It's actually, well, it's slightly bigger. Looking at it right close to each other. I don't know if this is worth showing on camera, but it is slightly bigger on this on the portal.
the PSP.
But it's smaller. It's still smaller than the regular DualSense. There's something going on.
Why are they making three? Well, right. Let's go down this rabbit hole even further.
Okay.
Does the DualSense their Pro controller, does that offer 3 sizes of stick?
So I've got like all the controllers just sitting right here, right? So I've got
Mr. PlayStation. Does that offer? Because I'm on the website. I'm on the PlayStation Direct.
The ones that you get in the case with this are essentially your regular kind of like indented thumbsticks. The other 2 are I can never remember which one it is. It's like concave or something, but or convex. It's the curved topped ones.
That's that convex.
Aye, that, and one's shorter and one's longer.
Okay.
So you have like that. Those are the 3 sets of thumbsticks. You have the regular ones, the shorter rounded ones, and then the longer rounded ones. So there's nothing smaller like these on the DualSense Edge.
Nowhere are you going to get this stick-based analysis. No one is going to pull out every... Right, has anyone got a PS3 controller here? No one's going to pull out the PSP Go to look at the sticks and see how they compare. Battery-wise, mine still hasn't died yet. I know yours hasn't died yet either. It seems like it's... I don't know if they've communicated what they're saying is the...
So... This might be incorrect, but I have it in my head that they said it was similar to the...
Apparently, it's according to a recent hands-on by CNET, the PlayStation Portal battery life is expected to last between 7 and 9 hours, which, considering the DualSense lasts between 7 and 9 minutes, that would be very impressive.
Well, here's how long I've got so far. 3 hours and 52 minutes and 22 seconds. I've been timing this specifically. Mm-hmm. That's how long I've got on it. And I'm down to the last bar. There's 3, obviously, similar to the thing. I haven't really looked in too intensely for it, but I can't see percentage counters on the battery. I don't think it doesn't seem to be included. When you fully load when I plugged it in to get it to 100, when I turned it on, it said 100% then, but I don't know how to do that, regularly looking at it. So I'm still down to the last bar, and I would guess from that, I'd be looking at about 5 hours, maybe 6. I've been playing, for the most part, I've been playing Control on it, which has actually a lot of haptics. With your every single step you take in that game has a little thud. So there are a lot of haptics at play with this. I've got it on standard haptic, like strength, and the brightness all the way up.
Yeah.
So I have been sitting playing this for 4 hours basically today, and I don't think really you're going to be playing that for 4-hour sessions.
Yeah.
Really, I don't think so.
That's the thing. It's kind of. It's pick up and put down kind of. I wish that it came I wish it had a cradle that you could put it in. Like I'm currently, I've got it sat in like a Switch holder that has Pikachu on the bottom of it, so not brand safe, but something like that would charge it the same way that the Steam Deck has and stuff like that. It seems a bit.
I would really, really like a case for this, because this in the same, it doesn't feel. I don't feel confident putting this in a bag in the way that I do with a Switch. Because I have
feels like Scratch City.
Yeah, I have a case for my Switch just in case anyone thinks I'm a psychopath, just putting that raw into the bag, the OLED screen. But I could do that. I feel like that the kind of profile of it, it's a lot easier to kind of slip into a bag. But this with the kind of these parts of the controller with like the grips sticking out and being separated from the screen, I feel like that could catch on stuff and like
yeah, it's like a
pull
fucking
and
batarang. Like it is it's a weird shaped thing.
I would really like a case for that because it doesn't feel like something that I would put in a bag. Although, as I said earlier, I'm not really going to do that outside of just testing. This is going to be something I play in the house.
Yeah.
But
a huge downer. It doesn't have Bluetooth. The capabilities for headphones are so. Sony will launch, and well, this is based on the UK because it launches at weird times around the world. But Sony is launching their new gaming headsets, which are kind of linked into this. So the Pulse Explore, which is out in December, which is earbuds, they will link with it automatically. There's already a menu option, and I know that the guys in the US, like Greg Miller and Blessing, they got, as part of their review kit, they got these headphones. That seems to work fine. It's just how you'd expect any of these items to work. And then the Elite Pulse headset will be the same, but no Bluetooth. It just has a headphone jack at the minute, and there's no USB-A port on it, so you can't use the pulses wirelessly. I think that's a bit of a black mark on it, to be honest.
The Sony's like unwillingness to support Bluetooth headsets is a bit of a thing that's like steadily over the years becoming a bit more like seems a bit tight. You know, I get it from a business perspective. You want people to buy Sony headsets for your Sony products, and that's going to be isn't one of the new headsets, it does have Bluetooth, but it's not going to connect. It's like it will connect to a PC or something, but you can't use that to like through Bluetooth. It's going to be like its own. Oh no, it's its own version of Bluetooth.
Yeah, it's got
for Sony products.
The PlayStation Link USB adapter is.
So it just.
I just want to use my AirPods. Honestly, I want to use my AirPods so badly on the PlayStation, on the port, the PSP as we're calling it. You can use AirPods on the Switch, and that's Nintendo, man. That's
that is a really, really stingy thing. I think it doesn't. I mean, you're not only saying to people like, I get it has a 3.5mm audio jack, so you can use that if you have a wired pair of headphones somewhere. But the fact that you're saying like, yeah, man, like spend £200 on this device, and if you want to play it with earbuds, which most people are going to want to do,
the earbuds are $199.99.
The earbuds are.
They're the same price. The Pulse Explorer wireless earbuds are the same price as the Portal. The Pulse Elite headset is $130.
I'm very, very curious to try them out. I mean, I like my headphones. I know I'm using the basic PlayStation ones now, but I typically use the Sony Enzone H9s for the actual playing on PlayStation, and like I've switched from like a Samsung one, so now like for my phone I have the Galaxy Pro ones, or something. I can't remember what they're called, but like to have like a wireless in-earbud like that charging £200, which is more expensive than like your AirPod Pros or like certain ones, and these ones, the Samsung variant, I mean that's a bold price. That's a bold price for something like that, and you really got to question like what the audio quality is going to be like. Now, some of these can be like impressive, especially when you start introducing noise cancellation on them as well. So it's how far they're going to take with that. But I do find it a little bit stingy that's like, you want to play us wirelessly with those kind of earbuds, you're going to have to buy our thing that costs this much money. Like that's a big ask.
I found the speakers on the actual machine, they're fine. They're like kind of typical onboard speakers. When I first saw the speaker slots, I was like, is that 2 micro SD slots? I was like,
yeah, so did that.
What you putting in there? Like this is just kind of a hollow shell. So the PlayStation Portal kind of ecosystem of accessories is a bit strange, but straight up, PlayStation Portal, who would you recommend it to, and who would you say, if this is your circumstances, maybe not for you?
I think this is going to appeal to a lot of like casual gamers that like play a wee game on the side. Like you're saying, like you're playing a bit of FIFA, you're putting in a wee bit of time to your daily session. It depends on the kind of games you play. I was playing Fortnite in this earlier. I played a bit of Modern Warfare 3 in this earlier. It's doable. I
Yeah.
suppose it's not, you're not going to want to do that. If you got a TV sitting there, I mean, you've got a PS5 already. If you own this thing, you'd hope. Don't buy this thing without the PS5. If you have those things, depending on the games that you're playing, I think it can actually be quite a fun thing to use around the house. I don't think this is like quite as versatile enough. I would rely on it to be something that I actually use when I went out and about.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't, something I want to test it out with, like how well would this do if I connected this to my data on my phone when I'm out and about? How well are you if you're at a hotel? Because hotel Wi-Fi is terrible.
Yeah, well, of course, if you connect it to your phone, the 5G rays will activate the COVID inside of you, so you need to worry about
there's that as well, right? You have to consider that when you're going.
Yeah.
So I think generally, if you're a casual gamer, if you like to, I think the TV thing's a valid thing if you don't get on the TV. And I think if you just like to kind of casually lie in bed and stuff, and that is the appeal of handheld gaming. Like playing it in bed, playing it in the toilet, you know?
Playing it in the motherfucking toilet, I agree.
That's what you're buying these things for, really. And I think it does that well in certain circumstances. I just don't think it's like quite the portable gaming experience that you would want from a Switch or a Steam Deck, you know? But
I feel like they can coexist. Like, I don't think this is a get this instead of the Switch or get this instead of the Steam Deck. It's like, so the person I thought of as the new parent, basically. It's the TV time is very limited. They want something that they're not like having to sit. They can just pick it up, grab it for a bit, play it, set it down, like go. The person who as I said, only has one big TV. The person whose like partner wants to watch a lot of stuff. If you are the master and commander of your domain and you always have access to your main TV and it's like in your room or whatever, and this would be a bit of an extravagance that I don't think you'd get much use out of.
Yeah. Especially since you can still, like, you can do this on a phone.
Yeah, you can get a Backbone or whatever. How much just for the
Backbone's $100.
Backbone is $100. That's the one that.
But you can connect your DualSense to your phone.
Yeah.
To play like you can buy like little connectors on Amazon and stuff where your phone's just sitting above. This is certainly on the Portal. It's a better experience, I would say, because like
there's a nice wee animation that happens when you connect it. That looks great.
I wanted to talk about that because that little animation genuinely like I feel like it's the kind of thing that not a lot of it felt kind of old school.
Yeah,
where it was like,
Sony.
You're coming and you're playing a game and you're doing a little experience thing. Like I feel like a lot of consoles and handhelds just don't really do that so much anymore.
You know the animation you get when you first turn on a PS5, like from a cold boot, from the that big bombast, is kind of evocative of that, but it happens every time you. It's funny though because it's obviously meant to be seamless, but if your Wi-Fi is like not, it'll start the animation, then it'll be like connecting to PS5 885, and then it'll do it. Like,
yeah, did you take a lot? How long roughly were you to connect to things?
Oh, in this room, so in the room of the Wi-Fi, instantly around the house, a couple of seconds, like a phone check, like nothing major. And what about yourself?
From a cold boot of this thing, like pressing the power button, waiting for it to boot up, then connecting was about a minute. If your PlayStation's already on and you're connecting it, it was really, really quick. If I was in the house, especially, if I was in the same house, like it was really quick, like matter of seconds. So I was quite impressed with that and the little animation. Mate, PlayStation are obsessed with their portals.
Yeah,
absolutely obsessed with them these days. But no, I didn't think it was too bad. It felt quicker than any time I've ever used it on my phone when the PlayStation's already on.
Yeah.
But I would expect anywhere from like 15 seconds to a minute, depending on your circumstance. I don't think you're going to be much longer than that. But it did seem a little bit unreliable when I took it further afield. I was maybe waiting a little longer. So it depends where you are, what kind of connection you have, and all that sort of stuff.
Your mileage will vary. I think that just about does it for the PlayStation Portal. There'll be reviews on VGC and Push Square associated with this. In summary, for me, much better than I expected it to be. I like it a lot more than I was expecting. I think the messaging around it was still a bit confused. And just inherently, when you look at it, you think that's a new PlayStation Portable, which I playing this makes me really wish that they would do another portable, because it just the ergonomics of it are incredible. But also I understand that is because I am playing PlayStation 5 quality games on this portable screen, and for that to be a reality, this thing would be $1,000. So it's a nice kind of midpoint. The main things I wish it did, I wish it was an actual stream device as well as a remote play device. Like, I wish, especially now that PlayStation started doing their PlayStation cloud streaming, I wish you could just connect straight to that rather than go through the kind of console middleman. And I wish it had Bluetooth. Those are kind of my main issues with it. What about yourself? What is your overall thoughts on the PSP?
I like it a lot more than I thought I would. It's something that, like, sometimes when we get these sort of things through work, it's like, yeah, I'll try it out for work. I'll dive into what's good, what's bad about it. And then once you're done, and you move on to the next thing. This is probably when I was up in my bed playing this, I was like, I'll do this. Yeah. I'll do this for the next, like, while, this is something I could get used to. Because it almost kind of annoys me, like, me and my wife have like this different kind of cool down routines where she's in bed watching like TikToks or reading a book, and I'm sitting down here in my office playing games because I'm like, I want to get in the gaming time. Yeah. But now it means, we can both go up to bed at the same time. She's doing that, I'm playing on this, but it's like, a kind of nicer thing. That's where I'm going to use it. I think it feels great. It looks nice as well. Yeah. I think it looks nice, actually. I know a lot of people were kind of ripping it for the grips on either side of the screen. The back of it does look a little funny, I think, with this big white band.
The only thing I'll say about the way it looks is this isn't the case. See the position of the thumbsticks? They make me think they encroach on the screen every time, even though they very, very exactly do not. Like, they're perfectly lined up. But every time I look at them, I'm like, are they covering a bit of the UI? Yeah, it's just briefly, the only actual UI it comes with is if you pull down from the top right hand corner, you'll get you can see it in the camera there, you'll get like a very small kind of side menu that has disconnect, your brightness, your kind of your airplane mode.
That's something I would have liked, is a menu of, literally, if that menu is just like a home screen and goes, which of your PlayStation, like, say you've got multiple PlayStations or profiles or whatever.
If you're rich like we are,
let's say you've got that, and you go, like, select which one you want to pick and then go from there. But I don't like that there's not like almost like a home button to press to go back to this thing to then it is just a side panel. That's
because you think you press the PlayStation button and it just acts as the PlayStation button on your PS5 controller.
And so that's a little funny. I think that's going to stick with a lot of people because it really highlights just how much of a, like, you don't have internet, this thing's useless.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing to do with it. But yeah, I can't lie. I think it's the most comfortable handheld out there, which is going to go a long way for me because I can't play the Switch for long. I'm not playing the Backbone one for more than 20 minutes, Like, this is going to make such a difference. I played that today, like I was saying, for just shy of 4 hours, and I was completely fine because you're just holding a controller. That's all it is. So it's as comfortable as that. It is maybe a little. There's a lot of things to discuss or like consider with the price and what you're getting for it. But overall, I think it's a fairly impressive thing. I think it'd be a much different discussion had it just been a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, I think it delivers on exactly how it's positioned in terms of what it is trying to do. It does very well, and it feels nice, and it looks good.
Yeah.
Just where is the audience for that? If you are the audience for that, let us know in the comments below. And also, we'll be talking more about this on the VGC podcast this coming Thursday. But until then, you can go and check out Aaron at Push Square on the Push Square YouTube channel. You can come back to VGC for all the PlayStation Portal exciting news, such as my PlayStation Portal snapped in two. Now what, Sony? Aaron, where can we find you on X?
X, that threw me there. At Aaron Bayne _ that's where you can find me, because someone took the clean Aaron Bayne. There was someone out there using
There's no such thing as the clean Aaron Bayne. You can find me at Jordan Midler, the one, the only. He of GTA 5 meme fame. Until then, Subscribe to VGC's YouTube channel. Check us out on TikTok, VGC_news. Till then, say goodbye, Aaron.
Goodbye.
We'll see you next time.